Hey
Hey
guys,
guys,
welcome back to Likewise Pod. I'm Issa.
and I'm Sam, and we're so excited to be back for another episode this week because it's been too long, too long since we've
Yeah,
talked.
2 whole weeks. Well, okay. Actually, sorry. It's been 2 weeks. Wait, 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks since we've recorded, but Sam and I have talked within in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
No, when you were saying that, it made me think of, I think it was literally the last episode where we talked about how to count weeks, and I still was like, yeah, I don't know if that was actually 2 weeks or not.
That's so funny. Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm so warm. Sorry. I had to turn my fan off because obviously, okay, if it's not obviously to you listening, the fan, the mic would have picked up the fan noises. So that's why it's obviously. Anyways, um, I'm so warm right now. I only just got warm after we pressed record, so this is awkward. And we've been talking for
30
a
seconds.
while. Oh,
Oh,
well, I meant
yeah, us
on
just
FaceTime.
talking.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, wow. Uh, this is apparently. I feel like it shouldn't be. I feel like it shouldn't be so shocking to us anymore that episodes are chaotic. But this is this. Yep. Sam, what's been going on the past 2 weeks? What are your roses and thorns?
Okay, so my rose and thorn are like the same thing, just from what I put right now. Um, Before I get into that exact thing, recently, since the last time we recorded, I moved apartments. It's been a long journey. Y'all know about my mold. It was a whole thing. So I moved, and so that took up a lot of my time, just constantly moving and getting fully out of the old place. And the new place is awesome. And yeah, but right after I finished moving, I went to go on a big travel photo shoot with work. So I was gone from last Wednesday to this Sunday, just on photo shoot. I was being a styling assistant, so I was best friends with the steamer and some clothes every day, all hours of the day, and just got to meet some really awesome people. And so it was so much fun. But my thorn is that at the same time, it just has me so exhausted. I did not take time off after the travel, so I got back on Sunday, and I just went right back to work on Monday, even though we worked all day Saturday. And so my body just hasn't gotten to rest. I also had some altitude sickness while I was in Boulder. I might have not even said that that's where I was. I don't know, maybe I did. But we were shooting in Boulder, and it was very fun. And I love Boulder, so it was cool to be back. Oh my gosh, and I got to see my friend Avery, who lives in Boulder, goes to see you. I went and got coffee with her, which was so fun.
No, I loved getting. I mean, I didn't get any updates from you while you were in Boulder, so that's
Right.
awkward. But I loved seeing your occasional story posts. I was like, that's so fun. Or your snaps every so often. I was like, oh my gosh, she's on set. Oh my gosh, celebrity. Hey. It's like, wow, she's living her dream. I love it. My thorn is that. Well, honestly, I can't really think of one, so I'm not gonna force it. So, yay, no
That's so good.
thorns. And my rose, my gosh, August? What a wild month. In all the best ways. It was so good. So much live music. It was windows down weather. Well, except for when it was cold and raining a couple times, weeks. But beside the point. And so many books, apparently. Sam and I were talking about books, of course, before we start recording. And I was telling her that I counted my Goodreads today, and because I was like, oh my gosh, I finished another book, wow, I feel like I'm on a roll. I feel like I've read 3 or 4 this month. And I was thinking man, July was such a good month for me. I think I read 6 or 7 books in July. No, in July I read 3 or 4 books. I don't know, but it's because they're all part of the ACOTAR series, and those are all a million pages long. But anyway, so I count on my Goodreads today, my August books. I've read and or finished 7 books this month, and today's August 31st. So like last day of the month, this was the end, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Yeah, August. What a great month. That is my rose. Honestly, the whole month of August. Who would have thought? Not me. I'm telling you that. Not me. Um, but this week, Sam put on our Instagram a little poll and said, hey, what do you guys want to listen to first? Post grad, FOMO, like not you're not going back to school, or friendship breakups. And we actually kind of got a lot of votes, and it was fun. I love seeing it. I'm like, ah, yes, interaction. I love
It
it.
was
And like a lot of
good.
podcast accounts too. And I'm like, wait, do these people like listen? That's so fun. But clearly, as you can tell by the title and, you know, by our future conversation, friendship breakups won for this week. So next week, we'll probably do post-grad FOMO. Or, you know, if something else pops up, then maybe we'll do that. But TBD.
Right.
Everything is TBD until it gets to Thursday.
True.
Not gonna lie.
True.
But yeah, we're really excited for this.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I actually like had this weird thought earlier where I feel like not last week, obviously, but 2 weeks ago, whatever, whenever that episode went up, our last one, our sorority recruitment one. I just feel like for some reason it just like bumped us back into like our lane, like just like our thing. Even though we haven't recorded since and it's been a little chaotic starting up again, it's just kind of like, oh, yep, you know it. Like, likewise has their thing, likewise has their like niche and the things they talk about. Not that we always talk about sorority life, because that was kind of like a random thing, but I feel like it just kind of related back to a lot of our earlier content that people loved, and so I think we like saw like, I don't know, a lot more interaction come out of it. And I feel like we're getting like in a place where we're ready to like really be posting, feeling good about our episodes, and feeling good about getting interaction and things from people.
Yeah. No, I know. It's been a lot of fun. Like, and I mean, I know we say this a lot, or maybe not as often as we think it, but or like as we used to, but again, like we started this podcast just because we wanted to like have a record of our conversations, and we thought it was so fun. And so numbers have never really been like our I don't know, I guess we haven't like ever really tried to like count like the quantity of followers or like quantity of
Right.
people like listening and stuff. But at the same time, like it's so fun to like see how much we have grown. And like honestly, even in like just the past couple of months, like we've grown a lot. And like the Instagram looks so cute, and like getting more followers and more DMs and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. And like while it's still I'm not even gonna say relatively small. Like while it's still a small podcast, like it's just so fun. So I love it.
Yeah, it's a fun little era to be in. Yay. Well, this is funny. Well, Issa told me earlier, she was like, wait, what are our qualifications for this topic? And we were just saying it's so funny because we don't want to come on and just be like, yeah, here are the friendship breakups I've had in my life. Like, that's not what we're doing, obviously. And we more so are doing it just because, like, our whole thing is that, like, our conversations and everything we love to talk about is so relatable. Like, we've realized that like we just live such normal lives, and so much of what we think and feel is very relatable to other people. And so we know this is what a lot of other like people younger than us and like people our age are going through this a lot and have questions about it. It always seems to be relevant in people's lives, and really it's kind of funny what even like made me think to have this as a topic idea. Literally just had to, it's secret, but it relates to books. So obviously like it is a little bit of like a been there done that thing. Like, yes, can relate to having had messy drama or not messy drama happen in friendship breakups in the past. But it's also something I haven't even, I don't know, I feel like I haven't experienced in a long time. Thank goodness, because
Yeah.
it sucked. But I think it's just part of growing up sometimes. And so it'll be fun to just analyze and talk about and kind of think it through, because I think I found things I didn't even think of, and I do think a big part of it is kind of like the reflective part, like the end, like what comes after, and being able to like give advice on that is fun.
Yeah. And something that Sam also brought up, like in our little pre-recording talk, is like part of our qualifications for being able to talk about this, even though, you know, we're we haven't really experienced, like we don't really have that many experiences with this, is that being in like this post-grad season and like having just graduated last year, like we're still transitioning, still growing up a bit, and so like that comes with friendship breakups, whether it's like intentional or not. Like you, like we just grow apart from people, and we're not going to talk to the same people every single day. We're not going to have like the same level of friendship with these people that we did in college. And so while it might not necessarily be a friendship breakup that is, I guess, as, I don't want to say traumatizing, but like as hard, I guess,
Right.
or quote unquote hard, as like a really intense one where like you see each other every day, and then you have like a big old fight or something, you know, like it's still something that happens and that we've had to deal with, and something that we've been growing in and through. So yeah,
That's a great point.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it totally makes
You
sense.
said it a lot better earlier.
I was like trying to think
how
about it. I was like,
how
I don't
did
even
Sam
know
say
how
it?
I said this. I think I just said like something about this, like we're like in the natural growing apart
Yes.
era of like our friendships.
Yes.
Like it's just like a very natural thing that happens in like the first couple years outside of college, and you know, I think everybody understands that for the most part, and it's sad and it can definitely get you down, but I think it has a very different energy and feel to it than like what usually comes to my mind when I hear a friendship breakup. Like I think of like the most drama filled, messy, like stuff,
Yeah.
you know, and that's not always what it is. And honestly, I feel like more than not, it's just like the fizzle out.
Yeah. And something else that I just thought of is like, I mean, just to add more words to what we're both saying, like this is a very transitionary time of life where, you know, like those friendships are gonna fizzle out and stuff. And like it just reminded me of when we read Everything I Know About Love, and how that's
Oh
something
yeah.
that it's recommended that people read like during like very like transitionary times of life. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, like so good. I kind of want to reread it just to,
Right, or
I
like
don't know,
parts of
because I
it.
feel like, yeah, like because I know that I'm still in the same phase of life that I was last year, but now being less fresh out of college feels like I'm almost at a different phase, which is kind of weird to think about.
Yeah, like we're just inching closer to that next one.
Yeah. Anyways,
So weird. Okay, well, I guess we've talked a little bit about some of the kind of situations of friendship breakups a little bit, kind of like those two polar opposites of like just the like fizzle out, growing apart, maybe not a specific reason, to extreme, messy, big fight, whatever. But I did find like a little graphic that has just kind of some like common causes or situations that friendship breakups are happening with. So it's kind of like, it's a little bit of like signs or reasons why you, that's kind of aggressive. I put you need to have one. No, you don't.
maybe that you should,
Right. You should or
or like you
could.
should rethink,
Right.
like, yeah.
But just like more often than not, it's a matter of like either being like just genuinely incompatible, which I think happens a lot kind of in this same like transitional phase, or like maybe even a little earlier, like in college too, like maybe the first people you meet in like your Rogam group or like your floor or something, like your first friends freshman year, they might not end up being your closest friends all through college, because you're bound to meet more people and kind of find those people that like are meant to be like your close circle, or like just are generally more compatible with you. Our favorite, well, not our favorite, but the one we talked about a bunch, growing apart, which also goes hand in hand with having physical distance and different life phases. It's kind of like everything we've talked about with that. Different values. I feel like that goes with being like just incompatible. Like when you realize that like you and your friends have different priorities or values, and like there's not a lot keeping you together or bringing you together. And then toxic friendship patterns. That's where you get the juicy drama, or I don't know, it's hard because that's where you get into like a lot of, I'm trying to think of another word besides toxic, but really just the situation's gonna feel toxic no matter what. Like there might be like a lot of guilt or shame or just overall negativity in a situation like that. So those are kind of the most common types.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, I don't know, like just thinking about it, I'm like, this is why like romantic couples break
No,
up. Like
exactly.
all these things. And it's like, I feel like we don't think of like friendship breakups or even like family breakups like a breakup. It's just like broken relationship, which is, a breakup,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like broken, all the like same thing. But yeah, it's really interesting because like I've never really thought about friendship breakups before, which I mean, like why would we? Until we finally have a word for it. Like, why would you think about this thing that exists but we don't have a word for? So there's no reason. I don't know. Sorry, I feel like my mind is like so all over the place. I'm like not making sense even to myself. Um, but yeah, I think it's really hard. Like growing apart, physical distance, different life phases, like all these things like are really hard um to deal with. And so like if you aren't feeling like you really even want to put in the effort to like have this friendship despite these things, it's like okay, then yeah, like then you shouldn't. Like if you feel like you have to just because you are friends or because you have history or because like you went through things together just because of, XYZ, but I don't know. I don't know. There's just like so many. I feel like I have so many thoughts about it, but I don't know how to put them actually
Right.
into
No,
words.
I was just thinking about that because I'm like, oh, like we have like some random bullet points, but it's like I'm like, why do I want to talk about them all so out of order? Like my brain is like
Mm-hmm.
jumping around so much trying to like put it together right.
Yeah.
But no, I think that makes sense too, and that just like made me think about how like overall it's not always like a bad thing, and like as much as it can be really negative and like take a big toll on you, it's also like I think there's times where like yeah, like you really should reevaluate certain relationships, and like there's points where it's like really awesome for you to go through kind of like a detachment with someone, if it's like just overall like how it's not like doesn't have to be like the most negative or like the worst thing in the world to have a relationship with someone, and especially like it can hurt if it's a friend you've had for a long time, but I think also like if you have enough time to like reflect and reevaluate the friendship, and if you know it's like not healthy for you or it doesn't align with your values or you know all those things, I think it's completely okay to like just accept
Mm-hmm.
that you want to move on or need to. And sometimes like it can just happen very like naturally and civilly and not with a lot of drama or anything, but I think it's just good to kind of like let go of like the idea that it's like super horrible to go through, because it can be, but it also can be very like refreshing and healthy and just like allow a lot of growth when you come out on the other side.
But I also think it's important to note that, like, just because you are experiencing some of these things,
Oh,
like,
yeah, you don't need to just, like,
necessarily
end a
have
friendship.
to have a friendship. You know, yeah. I mean, like, I think it is important to really evaluate that, like, with some of them. Okay, I feel like some of them are, like, for lack of a better term, like, bigger red flags than others. Like, for example, like me and Sam, lots of physical distance. Like,
Right.
honestly, even before, like, her being on the peninsula and then me being not on the peninsula, like, taking a ferry, driving all the way over there, or like going down and around. I was like, brother, this is so much. But like, you know, we valued our friendship enough to like put in the work, to put in the effort and stuff. And then, but now she's in freaking Nebraska. She's like, oh yeah, let me just leave everyone I know and love. Let me be a lone wolf. Let me just go be a big girl now.
Yeah.
In the middle of the country. But yeah. And then honestly, like, I feel like even with how similar ish, I don't know, like, we finished college around the same time, like, all these things around the same time, but like, honestly, Sam, we're in very different life phases.
We are.
Like,
Yeah.
very different stages of life. And that's not to say that, like, you've grown more, I've grown more, or I've grown less, or like, it's not to say any of that, but like, just very different life phases. Like, you've got a big girl job. You literally, again, moved out to Nebraska for, you know, said big girl job. You've had two big girl jobs. Um,
Right.
like, you have a long-term relationship, like, all these things. And then I'm living at home. I have a part-time job. I am not in a romantic relationship. Like, very different life phases. But and honestly, I feel like if it not not that we I don't think not that we wouldn't be friends if we didn't have the podcast, but I don't think we'd be as good of friends. I don't think we would put as much of an effort into this relationship if it weren't for likewise.
Mm-hmm.
And so honestly, I'm so grateful because
Yeah, me too.
it's like forced us to stay like best friends still. So
Right. No,
and now I'm going to freaking Nebraska in October.
yeah, you're gonna love it. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm genuinely, like, I was telling my sister this the other time, like, I'm actually genuinely so excited to go to Nebraska. Like, never have I ever in my life thought I want to go to Nebraska so bad. Never in my life have I ever thought that I'd be excited to go to Nebraska, but here I am, so excited to go to Nebraska.
Oh my gosh, I'm literally so pumped. Oh my gosh, I want to do so much. It's so like good that you're like coming into Omaha because then we can stop in Lincoln on our way back to Kearney, and then like we could just go everywhere. It'll be so great.
Oh my gosh, and then Denver.
And Denver. Oh my gosh.
Live that film. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited for that. That's so interesting that you pointed that out. Like, we do have a lot of those things that, like, would be those common causes. So I definitely think, yeah, it's important to, like, realize, like, just because, you know, you could fall into this, like, category of what puts your friendship at risk or something doesn't mean it's the end for you. Because the reality is, like, physical distance, different life phases, like, that is just constantly happening, like, in your early 20s with everyone you've ever known. So it doesn't have to be reason for you to completely end the friendship. Because like for us, even with those things that we have, I'd say we're very compatible. We're very compatible friends.
I agree.
So like we have like something bringing us together. And like luckily we don't have like toxic friendship patterns that would be like,
well, actually, Sam, that's something I've been wanting to talk to you about.
Yeah.
No, JK.
Actually, this episode is our friendship breakup.
Actually, Sam, I've been meaning to tell you, you're toxic. It's not me, it's you. Like the band Camino just said, it's you, it's you.
Oh my god. Speaking of the band Camino.
Oh my gosh.
Since I've been like so busy moving and everything, this is so bad. I literally still haven't listened to it.
Sam!
And it's been so long.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, just have it be a surprise when we go see him.
I don't
No,
think I can do that.
don't. No, listen to them. Okay, so this is actually strike one in our friendship.
Yeah, it's the fact that I didn't listen to the dog.
Actually, maybe it is strike three because we already have physical distance and different life
Oh,
phases. So maybe this is the toxic friendship pattern.
oops.
Breaking promises, Sam. Well, not really a promise, just anyways, beside the point. Different values, that's what this is.
Yeah, different values, different priorities. Okay.
That's so funny.
We do have a short list of some red flags that, we just saw and decided they could go on our list of red flags. So the first one that I found and put down was one-sided. I feel like that's like something a lot of people run into with their friendships, is just feeling like it's very one-sided. And I feel like people usually feel this way when they're the one who, it feels like they're putting in all the effort, or like really trying to keep the friendship alive, or like you feel like the person is always like calling on you and like coming to you for help when they need something, but they're never there when you need something, which, if it's how it's always been and like it really feels like suspicious, I'd say like definitely red flag. But I do also think that like sometimes you can recognize that like some people don't have enough like energy to like water their plants and yours too, or like kind of that whole idea. I saw that on Pinterest and I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. Like, yeah, some people don't have enough water to like water their plants and yours. So, depending on where they're at, like maybe they don't have the energy to like be there to support all of your things. But I think like if you're like celebrating all their accomplishments and you're never getting that like reciprocated, like that's not really okay. That's not like good for your friendship and doesn't make you feel valued as much as you're trying to make them feel valued. So yeah, that's the first big one.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's the one I have run into the most. And okay, I will say though that like, you in general, not you personal, you,
Oh,
like not just Sam,
not me.
like, you only know your side of
Yeah.
the story, right? And so, like for me, I have interpreted like a lot of like the one-sided stuff like as I I'm the only one putting effort in. Like I'm always reaching out to this person, seeing if they want to hang out. I'm always saying, "Oh my gosh, let's go do this." Like, or like if we spend a lot of time together, I'm always like the one checking in and being like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Like asking about their day, and then just silence. Like they never ask about my day, or like they never do this or they never do that. I always do this. I always, and it's like always these things. But um I've come to realize, okay, I need to humble myself and know that like I'm not a perfect person. And so like even when I feel like I am doing all those things, um, like I don't know like if there is something going on that they just for some reason, like not for some reason, but like for whatever reason that like they just don't want to talk to me about, or like they don't feel comfortable sharing it yet. But like all the things like you never know what someone's going through. Like honestly, yeah. But also at the same time, you're still totally valid in feeling like it is one sided. You're still totally valid in feeling like you are putting in all the effort and the other person's like not reciprocating. And, if you're not like me, you will be confrontational in a good way. Be confrontational in a good way. Don't just be like, hey, you suck. Be better. But be
Right.
like, hey, what's going on? Because I feel like I'm putting in all the effort, or I feel like I'm reaching out a lot and, or some, I don't know. I'm not the person to talk to about
Right.
that. I
Same.
hate confrontation. I can't do it. Positive, negative, I hate it. It stresses
Yeah.
me out.
I think like, yeah, me too. Like I can't really approach confrontation like that. So I do think it's like if you're also like us in that way, it is easy to go for it from like I mean, I get if you've already been checking in a lot, but like really like a genuine check-in on like maybe like, oh, is there something like going on, or kind of more that way, and like not making it about like I notice like I'm the only one asking to hang out. I'm the only one doing this, because also some people are way more like just open to like kind of being the planner type person than others. But you could be like, hey, like, if you ever don't want to do something, I know I suggest things a lot, or like, or just let me know if there's anything you really want to do. Like, kind of like try and invite them to like kind of take on that role. because I feel like sometimes you can just get stuck in the way it's always been. But also, like, thinking, like, if you are going to be confrontational, try not to, like, just put a bunch of blame on them and just be like, you never put in the effort of this, and this. Like, it could just kind of make it more about how, like, you feel. Like, you could say, like, oh, it just makes me feel like I'm not that much of a priority, or, like, it makes me feel bad because of this, and making it more about you than, like, it being their fault.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's so good, Sam. That's so good.
Me, I don't know anything about confrontation, but definitely don't do the blame thing. It doesn't work out well.
Doesn't work out, doesn't feel good, because, like, just imagine yourself being blamed. Then you're on the defense, and it's like, well, blah, blah, blah. It's like, whoa, chill. No good conversations are going to come out of that. Like, yeah. So, Sam, I'm so glad you brought that up. Like, that's so good. Another red flag, which I think is so good, I'm like, ooh, goosebumps almost, are friendships that are built on gossip. Wow. What a good one. And, like, honestly, I don't like gossip. I think it's, hot take, I think it's so ugly. Like, you know, I just looked up definition of gossip on Google, and so definition from Oxford Languages. Casual or unconstrained conversation or reports about other people, typically involving details that are not confirmed as being true. So, like, talking about other people behind their backs and about their lives and about, like, all these things, like, there's a very, very, very big difference talking, like, if I were to be talking with Sam about someone and just being, like, kind of venting about, like, my experience with another person and being like, oh my gosh, this happened, and this person, like, didn't do this the right way, or this person blah blah blah. There's a very big difference between that and me saying, like, oh my gosh, Sam, did you hear about this person? Like, this person, like, I can't stand her because I don't even know, I can't even think of an example, but, like, does that make sense? Like,
yeah,
I don't know,
like, when it's more like, it's like you are, like, keeping tabs on people and constantly talking about them to, like, be your entertainment within your circle. And that's just, like, it hits a point where it's just not, like, it's just not good. It doesn't make people feel good. I mean, and if it does make you feel good, maybe, like, analyze that a little bit. Because I know for me personally, like, I think it's really easy to get stuck in this type of friendship, especially if, like, you just, like, mutually with someone had a bad experience with the same person. Like, of course you want to be friends. It's like when, like, the ex-girlfriends become best friends, like, of the same boyfriend, but, like, you hit a point, and a lot of this stuff makes me think of, like, Ashley Corbo, host of Try Not to Care podcast, because she's talked a lot about friendship breakups. And she's also talked about how, like, in her past, she would gossip a lot. She'd talk badly about people and judge people with her friends a lot. And she hit a point where, like, it just made her feel ugly. Like, it makes you feel so icky, and, like, you're no better than the person you're talking about in a negative way. Like, if anything, you might be worse. Like,
yeah,
it's just not good for your own self to be, like, thinking about bringing other people down with your words. So
yeah. And, like, honestly, thinking about that, I'm, like, thinking about all the things, because I have very recent, like, in the past, like, couple years, have really tried to, like, hold myself from gossiping, because like, thinking about it, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, on if it's news to you, we were in a sorority, we were in the same sorority, so Sam and I have plenty of people that we have talked about, and plenty of situations that we've talked about, and plenty of things that we've talked about. And, like, I'm thinking about so many things. I'm like, oh my gosh, there were so many times when I was talking about a person and Sam was, honestly, Sam, like, you were just listening. Like, you weren't really, you weren't contributing to it. And, like, I was the only one gossiping, and I feel so bad about myself for that. And, like, I kind of want to apologize to these people, but I'm also like, I don't want them to know.
yeah.
Like, that would be awful. And so just, like, recognizing it, is, I think, a big step. And then you're able to be like, okay, that's not who I want. Because I feel like gossiping says so much more about the gossiper's character than the gossipees. You know?
Yeah.
Like, the gossipy, if you're talking about someone behind their back, whether it's good or bad, like, it's still gossip. Like, they can't be there to, like, confirm anything. They can't be there to deny anything. They can't be there to, like, defend themselves. So I just, why do we make other people's business our own? If it's not our business, then it's probably gossip.
Fact. Like, there's just so much, and I think it's completely normal too. And like, I've been in so many different situations where like gossip has been at like the center of friendships, and it's just something where like it can feel great and fun at first or whatever, and maybe you think it's fine, but then sometimes like you hit a point where you're also like start to wonder, wait, do they talk about me like this when I'm not around?
Yeah.
Because it's like kind of like Mean Girls. Like I can't, like I'm trying to like think of like something, and I just think of Mean Girls when like they're like doing like the three-way phone calls and stuff, and like Regina's talking to whoever about one of the other girls, like the other plastics, and so like, you know, it's like, oh wait, if she's talking badly to me about her best friends, what is she saying about me to them?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think
So
about
it's
that a
just
lot.
weird.
I'm like, I never want anyone to think that way about me. Like, I never want anyone to think that I am talking about them. So the best way to do that is just to not talk about other people.
Right.
And like, I feel like a lot of times, like, gossiping, like, it starts off as venting. It starts off as just like it just
Like
starts off as venting
connecting
frustrations.
and-
Yeah, but then it so quickly turns into talking about someone and their character and like all the things of their past, rather than like an isolated situation or an isolated encounter that you have with them. You know, and
Yeah.
so it's just it's a slippery slope.
It is a slippery slope for sure. But yeah,
I have slipped many times.
I've slipped and I've slided.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And you know what?
Wow.
We're gonna slip and slide again. But you know what? We just gotta. It's like a self-commitment. Like this one's like really one of the things that's just like you don't necessarily have to hold other people accountable, because it's really hard to like call people out on this type of behavior. But it's something where it's like this is more of like a commitment to yourself to like not partake or
Yeah,
all
and
that good
something
stuff.
something that I've actually found myself doing a little bit with it is just saying like, "Hey guys, I don't think we should be talking about this," or just honestly like just excusing yourself from the conversation. So then, you know, you're not part of it.
Right.
Because, you know, as fun as it is to get the tea, as fun as it is to get the hot goss, like it's just it does something. It does something to like my spirit. I'm like, "Oh, my heart feels heavy now." Like, why does my heart feel heavy? Oh, it's because I'm talking about someone when they're not here.
Yeah. No, exactly. Okay.
Wow.
The
Who'd have thought
we had so much
built on
so many
gossip
thoughts.
could have had its whole own episode. Honestly, we really could talk
Wait,
about this
that's a
for an
great
episode.
episode.
That
Yeah.
could be really good, actually.
I like that too.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll table it.
Sweet. So the next big one I put down was jealousy, which happens in so many ways. So I guess like first kind of that thing of like, okay, jealousy, but also comparison. So I want to say like if like the hardship Olympics, like if I have like a really bad day, then like it's a competition and that person is like they had to have had it like 10 times harder, like that type of thing. Or like maybe they're just really jealous over like if you have a romantic relationship and they don't. Or I think a lot with like other friends where like if you have another friend you're really close with and like they are jealous over you hanging out with that friend and not them. Or like just kind of like when you spend your time elsewhere. Like there's so many different things like but I think of like relationships the most, because I think people will get really jealous over like when you have other really close friends. and you're like, don't make them your number one priority or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that comes up a lot.
Yeah. Honestly.
It's like trios never work out. Wait, you know how that's like a thing on social media? It's like trios never work
Yeah.
out. And people are commenting
Yeah.
on like these videos of like 15-year-old girls who post like with their little trio, like they post little dancing TikTok, and they're like,
Oh.
clearly these two are gonna leave this one behind. And I'm like, wait, why are we commenting this?
I know. Yeah. No, this one also hits really hard because I feel like this is one that I think about a lot. Okay. Also, if you didn't know, I'm a type 3.
She's
in
an
the
achiever.
Enneagram, which is the achiever. So obviously I want to be better than everyone else. And so if like, it's not that, I mean, I guess, yes, I'm jealous, but a lot of times it's just like, oh, they didn't want to hang out with me. Why am I not good enough? Like,
Right.
and I know that that's not it. I know that like other people, like a lot of my friends are in relationships, and a lot of times when like friends in relationships hang out with other friends in relationships, like they're like on a double, triple, quadruple date, whatever. Like they're not gonna invite someone to just be like they're single and be like, hey, I'm Issa, I'm alone. Like in case anyone's wondering, like no, they're not gonna do that. And it's like I know that that's what it is a lot of the times, but it's also like, I mean, I'd at least like an invite. But I'm, again, this is something I'm really working on. Like, Issa, get over yourself. Like, life is not about you. Other people are allowed to have other friends. Other people are allowed to, like, just hang out and not, consult me on every time they hang out with someone else that's not me. Like, it's okay. My life, or like other people's lives, are not centered around me, and I need to recognize that.
Okay, wait, I just thought of something really funny. So I was thinking about how with jealousy, like, I was like, oh, wait, this happens to me sometimes, but like, it's not like bad. Like, this is very minor, but like, my instant reaction, it's so funny. Whenever Issa's like reading a book like really fast, or she finishes a book, every time it comes up on like Goodreads or I see it on your story, I'm just like, my instant thought is like, no, she's gonna pass me, or like I'm just like, dang, like I like find myself like getting like jealous over like your like reading time, which is so funny because like I could prioritize reading books if I really wanted to, but I'm always just like, no. But then it like quickly shifts to me being like, oh, I'm so happy, like I'm just like, yay, she finished a book, or like, oop, now I don't want to read this book, like if like based on just ratings or whatever.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I mean, yeah, okay, I think about that okay. Sorry, I'm gonna make this about me again. I honestly, I feel very self-conscious about like how many books I read and like when I post about them, and like, okay, I guess like for the people that I do know like in real life who read, I do kind of read a lot of books, and I do read them kind of fast. But in the grand scheme of things, like I feel like I'm a very slow reader, and like I don't read that much. But I get self-conscious about like posting all the time, be like, just finish another book, like here's my review and stuff. And I'm like, people don't want to see this. Like, people don't care about my reviews. But I'm like, you know what? This is for me. I need to just do this for me. Like, blah, blah, all the things. But, like, people have been, like, responding to my stories like, I love reading your reviews. Like, it's so fun. I'm like, we have not talked in years. What? This is so kind. Or, like, we've only ever had one conversation before. Like, this is so, like, it makes my heart so happy. But anyways, oh, yeah. But I also feel like a loser because I'm like, oh, my gosh. All I do is read. And people are like, what is this girl doing with her life? She's just reading. She's not doing anything. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yes, that is true. But then also, like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I really have so much time on my hands. But then I was like, actually, I really don't, because I'm doing stuff, like, almost every single day. So I just kind of read on my off days, which are getting fewer and farther between. Farther. Farther. Fewer and farther between. But, or further. Honestly, I only kind of know the difference between farther and further. I know farther is like for distance, so I don't know if, anyways, beside the point. But yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh, people are gonna be like, there she is, doing nothing. I'm like, But anyways, sorry, so like that's on that. But then, like, I also, honestly, Sam, I do feel like not like jealousy of like of your job because I'm like I don't know what that is. I honestly
Right,
still
you're
don't know
like,
what
I
you do,
don't
even
want
though
to do
you
your job.
yeah. But like I'm just like more jealous of the fact that like you do have a big girl job and like you got a big girl job like right out of college and
Right.
like you are like living an independent life and living your dream and doing all these like fun things. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to do that. I just want a big girl job. I just want full time. I just want this. I just want that. I just want blah blah blah. But then, kind of like you said earlier, like, but then I'm like, no, she's living her dream. Like that's so fun, and I get so excited and like oh, I'm so proud of her.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's just like interesting, like where it's like the little moments of like, oh yeah, I guess I catch myself doing that, but it's quickly
Hmm.
like a positive thing and it doesn't like it's not this thing that I fixate on too much. Or okay, this is like half related to this red flag. I was talking about this recently with someone at work, but like, and this happened a lot when I was younger, but it was happening like in her circle now. And it was like, like when there's like one friend who like always posts photos where everybody else or like where other people in the photo look bad, but they look good. And so they'll post it because like they look better than everybody. And like everybody else like had like their eyes closed or like just weren't as ready for the picture or like whatever. But like that was
Hmm.
like a thing. And I was like, man, I haven't thought about this in a long time because it's like more of like kind of like a high school type thing. It's
Yeah.
like I remember like I had a friend who okay, we said we weren't going to talk much about experience, but this is so long ago. Okay. I had a friend who even though they had a boyfriend, they always like sent boys pictures of her other friends like looking bad because she would always be talking to a lot of boys even though she had a boyfriend, but she would like
Oh
send
my
them
gosh.
pics where we looked terrible because she didn't
Live
want
off
them
love.
to want us.
Oh,
Anyways, so that was just
live
like
off love.
that's like kind of jealousy, but also like that's also probably something different.
Yeah.
That's so funny, but it's not
Oh my
funny. It's
gosh.
very real in the moment when it's happening to you, but it's like funny to look back on now.
Looking
I'm
back,
like,
it's
I don't know
funny.
if
Yeah,
any of my
yeah,
friends right now would do that to me. And I think I'm at the
yeah.
point where like if my friend posts a photo where I think I don't look good, like that's on me. Like I know they're not maliciously posting a photo where I think I
Hmm.
don't look good. Like they probably think I look good.
Yeah. No, I know. I like in like the past. I think I had this kind of what's it called? Not like mantra or idea or I guess thought. But anyways, I've like had this way of thinking. I don't know the word for it. Way of thinking since I think college. But like if people post a photo and I don't like the way I look, you know what? That's not my business. What other people
Right?
post me, not my business.
Yeah.
Like, that's so funny. Just
True.
like, I mean, I know we talked about gossip, but you know what other people say about me? None of my business.
Right.
So, but that's a whole other topic that I feel like could talk about for a while. But okay, also though, I've thought that for years, and then Reese Witherspoon says it, and then everyone's like, "Oh my
Now
gosh,
everyone wants
yes."
to
I'm like,
say it.
"Brother, of duh." Okay. And then our last friendship red flag that we have on here is that you feel obligated to maintain the relationship. And
Oof.
boy, oh boy, let me tell you, if I could talk about this, like, because I can't talk about this because it's, um, anyways, okay. If
Too
I could talk
specific.
about this, I would. I would. But I feel like it goes a lot. It goes very much hand in hand with being one-sided, but it also is very much its own idea and it's very much its own thing because yeah, one-sided like you're putting in all the effort, you're doing all this, you're doing all that and like the other person like you're perceiving like no effort on their end. And then this one you feel obligated to maintain the relationship like maybe it's because you have history like you've been friends for 10 years, you've been friends for 15 years, you've been like this was your very first friend ever. Or maybe like your family friends, and so if you break up this friendship, then what's that gonna do to the family, you know? Like it's
Right.
like crazy. Or maybe they were like your first friend in college, and or one of your first friends in college or something, or you met them in class and you really bonded in class or something, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I love it, blah 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 blah. But then it's just, it feels, I don't know, I feel like a lot of it is like sentimental stuff, like, and that's why you hold on to the relationship, because it was like, oh, your first this, your first that, blah blah blah, you know. And so I feel like a lot of the times, like, that's probably what it is like why you feel obligated to maintain the relationship, is because it's sentimental for whatever reason, right? But it is so taxing, and honestly, that's when I found myself gossiping so much, is when I felt like I was obligated to maintain this relationship because I was talking about this other person so much to my other friends, and I, like, looking back on that, I do not like that version of myself at all. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Issa, what an ugly heart you had when you were talking about this person and talking about like these situations and stuff. Like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
I
Maybe I'll tell you in 20 years.
right. I feel like with this it's hard because like obviously at the end of the day, like in all your friendships, relationships, like you should feel some sort of like obligation to maintain the relationship. Like I feel like when it gets to like this point where it's like it's bringing you down to where it feels like either like a chore or like to you it just is like I feel like I have to be friends with this person who maybe I don't even want to be friends with anymore. So then it's like, do you even have a good time when you hang out with them? Or when you're talking to them, do you even have something to talk about? Because it's like at that point, like, why really do you need to keep it alive if it's not like serving anybody, like making anybody happy or like providing value in some sort of way? Because I think like when you are at a really good place with like your relationships, like you don't really think about how like you feel obligated. Like I feel like the only like random things, like I don't really feel this way about us ever, but like we have likewise together, so we have this thing where it's like, oh, like I'll randomly be like, oh my gosh, like I really like I feel obligated to like prioritize recording time or like, you know, that type of stuff, but it doesn't feel bad to me. It feels really good because it's like I want to keep it alive. Like I want this so bad for us. Like we love it so much. And it's, but I feel like with these other relationships, like where you have these something specifically tying you together, like you said, it's like a family friend or like a college friend, or maybe it's like your one hometown friend you still have from high school or something, but like you didn't keep up much during college, but now that you both live in the same place, it's like you feel some obligation to be friends because it's like the one person you know. Like I feel like you just kind of have to like do a lot of inner work or like self-reflecting to be like, well, why do I feel this way about my friendship with them, or like what's the worst that would happen if we actually just weren't friends anymore?
Yeah. Something that I thought of at the beginning of when you started talking, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like being in a reading slump.
For
And
real.
like,
I have an obligation to my goal.
yeah, like Sam, like we were talking obviously about books, and honestly, that's how we got amped to record, because before we're like, yeah, like, yes, we want to record, but we're like, oh, I feel so chaotic. I don't know what to say, blah, blah. But then we talked about books and we're like, ooh,
We're ready.
I'm feeling the energy. It's like pre-gamed the pod with a quick book talk. But Sam was saying how like she's just kind of in a book slump right now. She is like she's been trying to read People We Meet on Vacation for however long, and People We Meet on Vacation is my favorite Emily Henry book. And apparently that is a little controversial because that's a lot of people who I've talked to who love Emily Henry and have read all of her books. Like that's like their least favorite. Not not that it's bad. Like, they're all like, no, like, I love that book, but it's the least of my favorites, like, of the four. I'm like, you know what? Like, that's fair. Because my least favorite is oftentimes their favorite. What is it? I think it's Book Lovers. Yeah, Book Lovers. But you know what? I love them all. Anyways, and like Sam was just saying that, like, as much as she really, really, really wants to read People We Meet on Vacation, like, as much as she really wants to get into it, like, she just can't. And it's taking her so long to get through it. And she knows that, like, other people love it. She knows that it's going to be such a good book. But it's just taking her so much, like, effort. It's taking her so much, like, of her, like, brain to, like, get through it and use, when this shouldn't be, like, a huge brain activity. Like,
Right. Yeah.
and so, like, that just made me feel, or it just kind of reminded me of, like, when you feel obligated to maintain a relationship, it's like, it shouldn't feel like work. Like, yeah, it
Right.
should, like, relationships take work. Like, we all know that. And they should, because that's how you know it's a good relationship, is if, like, it takes work and you want to put the work in, you want to maintain it and stuff, but it shouldn't feel like heavy duty
Yeah.
work all the time.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I think to, like, continue that reference a little bit, when we talked about it enough, like, I have, like, come to the realization that it's not People We Meet on Vacation at all. Like, you know, like, there's still, like I'm only 60 pages in, so it's not that I can't get into the book because of the book. It's like, well, the problem is that I'm in a slump, and I do feel like I have high expectations for this book, and that's, like, not a good place to be in when you are in a slump. And so I really need to just pivot and pick something else, even though I thought this was a good slump book, and it's just, like, it's not proving to be that for me. So I think also with, like, friendships, just, like, you really need to, like, kind of think on it when it's this type of thing where it's like, is it really them that, like, do we have, like, different values, or, like, we only have this one thing holding us together, and I just really don't want to actually keep this relationship up. Like, kind of having to, like, wonder, like, is it them actually, or is it just, like, me or my other life circumstances going on right now? Because, like,
That's
for me, I'm
good,
like,
yeah.
it's not the book, because I'm sure I'm gonna love it. But, like, sometimes it might be the person. But, like, I think it's, like, don't convince yourself that, like, if you feel this way, they need to not be your friend, because maybe it's not about them.
That's so good. Oh, I love that. I love me a good, what is that, analogy?
Analogy.
Metaphor?
For sure.
I don't know. I kind of don't know the difference between metaphors and analogies.
They're pretty similar. I think it's like a square rectangle thing.
Ah, nice. Anyways, sorry. Not to expose my... Wow, I'm exposing
We
myself
haven't
so
been
much.
in English class in a long time, guys, okay?
Actually, that is true. I think the last English class I took was my freshman year of college. So it has been oh my gosh, it's been 5 years since our freshman year of college. Oh, I feel
That's
so
so
old,
weird.
Sam. Gosh. Anyways. I forgot what I was gonna say. You take it away.
Okay, cool. I'll just bring us right to our next section, which
Perfect.
is just kind of like just a couple little things, like some little myths about friendship breakups, because I feel like I see a lot of these things when people talk about friendship breakups, and, like, the biggest one, like, that I think of is, like, the idea of, like, permanency. I feel like this is something that makes people either avoid friendship breakups, or after it happens, it, like, contributes to people being, like, kind of down in the dumps about it, because we have this idea that if we have this breakup with this friend, that it's permanent. Like, we're never going to talk again. We're never going to be friends again at all. Like, there's no hope for us to be friends in the future. And if we ever are friends in the future, it won't ever be the same again. Like, I saw this thing on Pinterest that was like, friendship breakups are like crumpling a piece of paper into a ball. Like, when it's opened back up, it's never going to be the same. And I was like, okay, that's a good analogy, but it's also really sad, because I do think there's a lot of cases where, like, you can go back to being the same friends you were, and you also can come back in a much better way than you've ever been friends before. So I think it's easy to think like, oh my God, we're never going to be friends again. We're never going to talk again. So that's why I can't end this friendship, because I want them in my life. But that's not the end all be all. I think that's like too, I don't know. I think it's just like a fear speaking to us, because it's not like reality.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, okay. I was just thinking about it. I was like, wow, actually there is one friendship breakup that I can talk about because we're friends again.
Oh, I love that.
And like, so it's like very fitting for like the permanency thing. And so, long story short, this girl, I feel like with all the details, people are gonna be able to figure out who it is. But do I really care? No. Does she listen? I don't think so, but I don't think she would mind that I was talking about it. And I won't name drop. But anyways, so like met her in college. Like we were in the same row game group, all the things, blah, blah, blah. Like our whole group, like best friends all throughout college. It was so fun. Live, laugh, love, all the things. And then like in the last couple years, like because of COVID, like we all went home, all like haven't like seen each other, blah, 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 blah. And then like last year, this year, or all throughout the years, like she's had like different kinds of boyfriends. That's fine, whatever you want to do. Not my business. This year, all of a sudden, she's not talking to us. We're like, have you heard from this person? We're like, nope. So we all try reaching out. We're blocked on everything. Like, oh, cool, amazing. And long story short, she comes back eventually, like months later. Like, no, this was last year. Yeah, last year through this year, like months later, like February, March. She's like, hey guys, I'm back. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, yay, you're back. And I was absolutely not having it. I was like, no.
Yeah, you're like wait, what?
Like, I can't have someone unreliable like this. Like, I don't want this. I don't need this. And so I was like, I was very firm with my boundaries with like my other friends. They created like a whole group chat without me. I was like, hurts a little, but I get it. But also I'm like, I just want to be invited.
Right. You're like, I know I put myself out here, but I want
yeah. Like, invite me in. No, like the Eric Andre. Like, let me in. Yeah. Let me in. And we were all at an event together, and we saw her, and we had a big heart to heart. And like honestly, I was like, yeah, I'll be civil, I'll be cordial, like, but I don't think I'm gonna be friends with her. She told me like all this stuff that was going down, like very traumatic things, like all these things, but like she had to cut us off for whatever reason. And I was like, hey, you're totally valid. Like you, honestly, you don't owe an explanation, but I feel like as close of friends as like we all were, like it really hurt that you didn't give us an explanation. You didn't give us a heads up. She's like, I get that. I totally understand it. Like if I would have been able to, I would have, but just because of the circumstances, like couldn't. And I was like, I get it. Like, so like both of our sides, totally valid. Like both of our feelings, totally valid. And like, I understand her side. She understood my side. And so we just had a big heart to heart that night and, you know, became friends again. And so, yeah, like Sam, like you were saying, that friendships like won't ever be the same again. Like you won't ever rekindle, like crumpled up piece of paper. Like it's never going to be like pristine and pure like it was before it was crumpled up. Like honestly, our friendship is just the same as before she ghosted us last year. So I mean, and I know that that's not the case for everyone, but I think it's also really important to note the fact that like, yeah, like exactly like you said, it can be just the same as it was, but now you have like an extra little story to tell, you know?
Yeah.
So
like, oh, hey, remember that time when we like weren't friends?
Remember that time when I was so mad at you and I just did not want to be your friend anymore? Yeah, me too. Cool. Good job.
Yeah. That kind of reminds me a little bit of like the next point too that I had down was like just the idea that like in a friendship breakup, somebody is in the wrong. I mean, I feel like this is kind of like a thought around breakups in general. It's like, well, whose fault was it? Who's in the wrong? Just the idea that like now you guys are enemies with like some big drama between you, or just like that something dramatic happened. Like that whole, I made that one whole point, but I feel like it all goes together. Like who did what, like what's the drama, like, oh, you guys hate each other now. And I feel like that doesn't always have to be the case. Like there is like the very natural growing apart, or like maybe also the idea is that like either we could just say like both people weren't in the wrong, because like in your situation, like you both had very like valid feelings and like very valid things going on, and you didn't know both sides. So like maybe for a while you like, you obviously felt like, oh no, they're in the wrong because like we were blocked. No, but like it's kind of like a hindsight thing a little bit, but it's also like in more like when you get to the point of like more adult relationships and just understanding like complexities of life, and it's like not as like high school anymore. Like you kind of know, like not saying things aren't valid in high school, but I just mean like, you know, like more complicated relationship things happening.
Like you do a lot of growing between, honestly, like even between senior year of high school and freshman year of college. Like there's a lot of growth that happens there that I think is not acknowledged a lot.
Like it's just different, and I think you hit a point where like you just have this level of maturity where you know that like you either see it as both like we're both valid and neither of us are wrong, or like, or you see it as we both are in the wrong. We both could have done things differently. Like we both might have like not been showing up for each other, or like even as much as I want to think that like I'm very innocent and this person's wrong and that I'm the victim here, like they're probably like they're hurting too, or I don't know what's going on, and we could both be equally wrong or equally right. It's just a matter of like our needs not being met how we want them to be. So, but I mean, sometimes somebody could wrong you. People can wrong you really bad, for sure, and something dramatic can happen.
Yes. Like,
don't look at every situation like that.
It doesn't always have to be this way. Like, it's not a rule, and it's not just like, oh, there are exceptions to the rule.
I'm just debunking a myth.
Yeah.
Sometimes things go really wrong. Sometimes you could probably sue someone.
Yeah.
That's never happened to me, but hey.
You said that, the way you said that, it sounds like it could have happened. I did.
Yeah, no, that's never happened, but it was just on my brain.
So funny. Yeah. I mean, like, just so many things, like, especially in, like, transitionary period of life, like, my best friends in high school, I don't really talk to them very much anymore.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I've still been invited to weddings, though. So
amazing.
That's what matters to me. Well, okay, no. Oh my god, that sounds so bad. I love that, like, our friendship that mattered at like such a like I guess important time of like when we're like growing up. Like I'm so happy that people think of me and they're like, yes, I want this person at my wedding. Yes, I want Issa at my wedding because she was such a big part of my life at this point in time. And, like, that makes my heart so happy. But it's also important to acknowledge that, like, do I talk to my best friends from high school every single day? No. Do I talk to them even once a month? No. Like, the people that I saw, the people that I hung out with, the people that I talked to literally every single day in high school, like, I talked to them a little bit my freshman year of college. I talked to them a little bit my sophomore year of college. And then after that, I didn't really talk to them very much anymore. And so, like, you know, like, no one is in the wrong there. We're not enemies. Nothing dramatic happened. It's just the way of life, you know? And so, but even with that, like, and I wouldn't say that these are, like, friendship breakups, but they're just, like, friendship fizzle outs. Or something. I don't know. Like,
right.
It's like being laid off. Like, you're not fired. It's just you're just not there anymore.
Yeah, I feel like it's just like we're growing up and growing apart. Like we just different phases of life, for real.
And being in this phase of life where like my friends are getting married, my friends are having babies. I'm like, it honestly is such a joy to me that people think of me so highly that they're like, yes, I want Issa at my wedding, even if it is like across the country, because you know what, that has happened. And
Well,
did I go? No, I'm really sad that I didn't go. Other friends from high school, like, they did go, and I was like, oh, that's so fun. But I was like, I don't have money.
right.
Otherwise, I would have. But yeah, yeah, it's just so fun. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have more people that I can invite. Because I was like, well, once I eventually get married, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna stop talking. I sound crazy. But, but yeah,
That's so funny. I feel that. Um, I'm looking at this and I really don't know why I put comparison right here, but I think I had comparison as a bullet point under myths just because I kept seeing all those like posts talking about how like nobody talks about friendship breakups hurting worse than romantic breakups or like that type of thing of like people being like you don't know real pain till you lose like a friend. Like I thought breakups with boyfriends were bad until I experienced losing my best friend or something. But which is very valid, I think. Like I mean, if I think about like my friends I've known the longest and I'm still really close with, like I'd probably be very emotionally ruined if we ever had like a
yeah,
friendship breakup. So I can get that.
yeah. But
Yeah.
it also like maybe this is a whole different myth, but friendship breakups, they don't have to hurt.
They
Like
don't have to hurt.
I had a friendship breakup, and I not that I was apathetic about it, but I was honestly very apathetic about it. Like I didn't I could not care less that I didn't want to be this person's friend anymore. And like that's what made me sad. It made me sad that I wasn't sad about it, you know? And but you can't force yourself to be sad about something. So,
No, that's so true.
and like that's okay.
That's so true. Like, yeah, you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be sad. It doesn't have to be knife to the heart type of thing. And if it is, your feelings are valid and you definitely
Yeah.
should feel them. But also, it just made me think for a moment. I was like, wait, maybe you're dating the wrong people. Like, if like, I get like short relationships and flings and whatever, but like, if you're like, wow, like I'm like, I don't know, not that you should ever be heartbroken with breakups. I feel like breakups are all like, they're there for a reason. But I just think it's funny. I'm like, wait a second. If you're really like not that sad about
If you're like emotionally
breakups
if you're
with
emotionally invested
right.
in a romantic relationship, like if you're with someone, I think for like a year or more, I feel like it probably should hurt. Like
it should
when
at
you
least
break like you probably
it
should be
have an
sad,
effect.
but if you're only sad because you're not sad about it, then that kind of speaks on the relationship. And
Yeah.
again, not saying that it's like not saying it's a bad relationship, not saying that it can't be picked up again, but that means the way I've interpreted it is that there is so much growing to do in order to have a relationship with that person again. Like, and not just on that person's side, like not just like if you feel like, oh, I'm such a good friend, like I put all the effort in, I did this, I did that. Like, no, I had to check myself because I was like, oh my gosh, like I have a lot of growing to do because I made this relationship about me and what I was offering, and like about this other person and what they were not offering me. So I need to humble myself and be like, no, it's not about me. Like, yes, it's a two-way street. Yes, it's about both of us, but it's not just about me and what can I get out of this. And like, oh my gosh, I'm so much better than the other person, you know? And so,
That's a good point.
yeah. Like, I think if a breakup, whether it's romantic, whether it's platonic, like friendship, or like a family or whatever, you know, whatever kind of breakup, if you're only sad because you're not sad about it, if that's like your only feelings about it, then there's so much growing that you as a person need to do. And also probably the other person in it, not probably, like definitely the other person needs to do. And then like if you, actually not even if you want to like get it back together and pick it back up, but I think that there's just so much growing to do from that.
Right. And it is hard to like Oh, I guess the other thing with comparison is like just the idea of like that in each next relationship, like you start like trying not to like compare that new person to this, or like
Mm,
you can't compare
yeah.
your other friendships that you're still like in to that one unless it's like going down a similar path and you're like, I can't do this toxic thing again. Um, but I think it's like it's good to remember that like every relationship is like so individual and different, and your friendships are going to be different from person to person, and you can't just like it's hard to not compare sometimes. But yeah, I find myself doing that sometimes, or like,
Yeah, same.
wow, who knew we could talk so much about this? Well, then maybe our final advice for this part one could just be like making your realizations, or like how are you really figuring out that like this is what you need, or I don't know, I feel
Mm,
like based on what we've talked about, like I think it's pretty easy to tell like if you're having these thoughts about your friendship with this person, like if you even have like a little inkling of like they're I don't feel good about myself when I'm with them, or like,
mm-hmm.
oh, I'm starting to notice I feel this way, then there's probably something that like a change needs to happen, whether that's just like addressing it, moving on and fixing things, or ultimately deciding to not be friends, which is fine. You don't have to be
Yeah.
friends with everybody.
And like a lot of it just has to do with you as an individual. Like, is this relationship serving me in the way that I need it to? Like, is
Mm-hmm.
this something that I need in my life or even want in my life? Like, if it's not something that I feel like I need, if it's not something I feel like I want, then what is it doing for me? And, you know, not saying that like every relationship like has to do something for you at all the time, at all times, you know? Like there are some relationships I believe in life that like they're there for whatever purpose, like they're maybe it's for the other person, but if you don't feel like it's even that, like I don't know. I feel like that's getting into like a lot of complicated stuff, but
Right.
oh, yeah. There's just so much that goes into it, and so I think the easiest way to put it is like, okay, if it's not serving me, if I don't feel good about this relationship, if I don't feel like I'm getting what I want or need out of this, then why am I still here? Then maybe it's
Right.
time to reevaluate and figure things out.
Yeah. It's one of those situations where it's hard to, because you don't want to feel selfish or like guilty, but it is one of those situations where it's somewhere where you just are needing to put yourself first, or like realizing that like, okay, this is my moment to put me first. The only way out is through, like the
Mm-hmm.
only like way I can get to like where I want to be to achieve my best self is to let go of these things,
Mm-hmm.
and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, we only just saw how long this episode's been, and honestly, we still have quite a bit more to talk about. So, we decided that there will be a part two. But like this is all we have for like friendship breakup, like causes and like things to think about and like red flags and why you should reevaluate like that sort of stuff. Part two will be like how to get through it, like how to overcome, how to um I don't know, like be okay afterward.
Yeah.
Yeah. So excited for that.
I'm
We've
really
never had a
excited
part
because I
two.
was like, true, like a real part two like
Yeah.
this. Like,
Yeah.
we definitely, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like, I'm excited because this was like, those topics are kind of like stuff that I was really excited about, because it's something that I wish I like knew better, like when I
Mm,
needed it. Like, I wish I had the type of information that we'll share
like
later.
resources, yeah.
Yeah, like I just wish that like I had that reassurance or like validation
Yeah.
for what I was going through and feeling. So yeah.
Ah, so good. Okay, so to close out this episode, Sam, what is your song of the week?
So somehow my song of the week like actually really relates to the topic. My song of the week is "Winner" by Conan Gray. And if you didn't know, I'm a huge Conan Gray fan. Have been for like years, like ever since like early days of his YouTube. And this song is just so beautiful. I was like, wow, he did not have to like make such a knife to the heart song, but I love him for it anyways. Like I was listening to it in the airport, just like, oh, am I gonna cry? And like the whole thing is like, oh, like the truth is like nobody has done better at making me feel worse. Like you really are the winner. Like that's kind of the whole idea. No,
Oh
literally
my gosh.
stabbed. Like I was stabbed, and it's just so beautiful. That's the only word I have for it. And I just know I'm going to be listening to it so much.
That's so good. Oh my gosh. Um, my song of the week, very different. It's Cole by Dylan Gossett. And I was just on TikTok and doing my daily doing my daily TikTok filter stories. I put them on friends. Sometimes I keep it to like public where like everyone can see them, but most of the time I put it on friends only. I only do like the public ones if it's like funny or if I really just don't care. But most of the time I'm like, no, that's embarrassing. I want friends only. Anyways, and so it was like this was the song in the background. I was like, oh, that's so fun. Like, what is it? And I looked up and was like, oh, it's so good. I'm like, yay.
Wait, that's such a fun way to find a song.
I know. I love um yeah, very much in like my country era again. I live, laugh, love country. I love
Ooh.
country. Um but yeah, so end of this episode. Thank you so much for sticking around long as you have. Appreciate it. We're really excited for our first official part 2. Maybe honestly, I feel like we should probably do this more often, like actually plan out like doing part 1s and part
So
2s
much
because
stuff, yeah.
we talk so much. Well, I talk so much. But yeah, so please, if you haven't already, please make sure to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, especially because you can like leave little messages, but then also on Spotify, you can rate, and other stream platforms, I'm sure you can rate and or review. Don't know. But yeah, so just the more rates and reviews, like the more that people can see this and be like, oh yeah, likewise is similar to like these other podcasts that you listen to. It's like, oh, that's so fun. Yay. Have a listening party with your friends. That would be interesting. Uh, and then also follow on whatever streaming platform you use so that you can make sure you're listening as soon as an episode comes out, since they're kind of sporadic, but usually they're coming out on Saturdays. So, wow. Rip to Likewise
Likewise
Thursday.
Saturdays.
Oh, growing up. Um, but yeah, and then also follow us on Instagram and you'll hear even more chaotic things there on the stories. So fun. I likewise _ pod. I actually knew it this time. How fun. I never know it. But yeah. Anyways, Sam, thank you so much. This was so fun and I'm so excited for the next one. So just hope you have a really great rest of your night.
Thanks, Issa, and likewise to you all.
Bye.
Bye.